Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of my live tea tasting. I've got a great flavor for you today, so I'm going to go ahead and start this water. Oh man, I am so excited. I have not tried this. I smelled it. It smells very unique. It's very fragrant. I'm going to open up this bag for you today. It's another tea from our friends at Tea Vendor, and the name of it is Black Oothu. This is going to be amazing. It even looks dangerous. It's like, check it out. There's a reason why there is a tiger on the cover, but I'll get to that in just a few minutes. First thing I want to do is I want to open up this bag because it's driving me crazy. I really want to, I really want to get this thing open. Oh man, like I said, it's got a very distinct scent to it, and I will be describing it in just a moment. Oh, it's not open. There we go. I'm having a little bit of problems here. There's a piece of tape that's in a very awkward. There we go. Hey, Teresa, welcome. You're the first one to arrive. Oh, that is so nice. There is a little bit of a distinct scent to this right off the bat. You know what? I'll talk about that in just a moment. So this is actually a blend that here we go. I'm just opening it up. Kaylin, welcome. It's from a specific place in. You said I'm glad you set an alarm because you know that's that shows dedication. Okay, so this is from a place in South India. From the I hope I'm not messing up the pronunciation too much. Kalakad Wildlife Sanctuary in South India, and this has a pretty unique scent to it. It's got like a the general black tea scent, but it's kind of like a green black. I don't want to say it's similar to a to an oolong because it's not really here. But let me, Leanna, welcome. We haven't seen you in a while. But let me go ahead and put some of this there. I'm going to do a nice whopping teaspoonful. There we go. So since this is a black tea, I'm heating up the water at 112 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, there we go. That's that scent I love so much. It's a very, very light black scented flavor. It's not like any other black I've really smelled. It's slightly earthy, but not as earthy as normal. Now, as you can see, it looks like a regular black tea. You know, there's nothing visually very different. Rachel, welcome. There's nothing very visually different from regular black teas. You'd actually, this is something that you'd have to smell to distinguish. What's this? You like the packing? It looks like Pepperidge Farm gingerman cookies. It does, yeah. that's that old timey bag kind of packaging. But you'll see there's not really much of a distinction between this and regular black teas. So like I said, the distinction will be in the scent and the flavor. Oh, that is really nice. It's kind of like, Sarah, welcome. It's kind of like it's a nice healthy blend of earth and grass. It's not a very deep, dark, highly oxidated kind of tea. It's light and it's kind of airy. It smells really really nice. Like it's there's a very it's hard for me to describe what that distinction is, because like I'm usually used to to smelling teas that are very heavy, very black. Um, I mean it's lighter than Darjeeling, and I'm really trying to describe this accurately. And the problem I'm also having a little bit is that I still have a little bit of soap on my hands from when I washed, and that's kind of like masking the scent a little bit, so it's impeding my judgment. Oh, but it's really really nice. So my water is about to pop. I can hear it. It's bubbling just a little bit. Up there we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and Wally, welcome. I'm gonna go ahead and pour some of this water in there. And since this is a black tea, as I said before, I'm doing this at 212 degrees. And as well, I'm going to be steeping it for 5 minutes. So we'll go ahead and start the timer. There we go. And already, wow, like I can smell the tea starting to permeate the room. It's got a very soft scent to it. And it's very wholesome. Now, for those of you who are just tuning in, this is I want to say this correctly. It's black Oothu from the I'm gonna say this right. Calicut Wildlife Sanctuary in South India. Now this tea, as I mentioned before, well, I showed you guys the package, but for those of you who just came in, it's a pretty big bag actually for the price. And it's got a tiger on it, and that's for good reason. It's because part of the proceeds goes to saving the tigers. So you get a really good tea, you get a really good cause, and that you just can't go wrong. This tea has a very distinct flavor. Like I fell in love with it when I went to the shop. This is sold at Tea Geschwender. And the tea is Shanna, welcome. Yes, must love cats. Exactly. This is why I knew you'd be interested in this one. Not just because it's a great tea, but because I know how you feel about cats, and that's why I sent you the invite earlier. But yeah, this is an amazing. It's a Tea Geschwender. They have two shops here in the city, and this is also being sold online. So if you can't get to the store, I'll be posting the link after. Um, yeah, I kind of figured it's a good investment to make, and honestly, for the price, it's really good. What is this? It's 250 grams. I don't know what that is in ounces. But it's 250 grams and it's 27.50. So yeah, online would work better. No problem. I always do both options just in case. Um, but yeah, it's 27.50, and usually for a pound for a bag that large, it could, depending on where it comes from, it could go for just about that same, even more. So it's a good price for it. And I believe this is an exclusive tea as well, that you can only find it with Tea Geschwender. I'm not 100% sure, um, but I'm like 80%. So, leave a little bit of wiggle room for mistake. So let's see. This grows outside the rainforest of Oathu, Oathu, and Manjolai, Manjolai gardens. So this is like I said, like this is like super exotic, and like it's oh, there's Quackhead telling me that it's time to pull the tea out. So I'll go ahead and do just that. I do not want to risk oversteeping, because that would be a really bad first impression, All right, there we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour some of this out. Oh yeah, that's the quacking timer. That's my my duck timer. I call him Quackhead. He gets that from me. No. All right, so there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and pour some of this out. Oh, that looks like a beautiful color. There we go. Whew, and it looks about as I thought it would. It's not super dark. I'll show you guys real quick. So it's a very very red tea, which is distinct again, because normally teas are black. Sneha, welcome. Normally black teas are just straight up black or brown or um, bronze, copper, but this looks straight up red, and that's very unique for a black tea. I don't recall seeing any teas that are quite like this. That absolutely golden red is a really good description because look at the outside. It has a golden halo, and it's very beautiful. Like in the right light, it's just absolutely gorgeous. And I've never seen this tea in liquid form before. I've literally only seen it dry and smelled it at the store. This is my first time drinking it, and I am excited because this is, I mean, it's already such a different experience that I don't know what to expect. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my first sip because this is like it's driving me crazy. I have to. Oh, it's got a very wholesome scent. Very, very well rounded, very smooth. So I'm sure the taste is gonna be very it's gonna be the same. Oh, that is really nice. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay. No, it's not Tiger Eye tea. I know what you're referring to. Tiger Eye tea is more chocolate and caramel. This is yeah, it's lava tea. Make a tea called Tiger Eye Chai. I actually can. There is a blend out there called Tiger Eye, but I'll work on that some other time. This one is really really nice though. It tastes like a very well rounded black tea flavor. It's typical. It's typical in its essence, but there's slight nuances around the flavor. And when I say around, I mean it quite literally. Like when you breathe it in, there's notes of there's notes of a woody kind of um how do I put it? I'm gonna take another drink. So it's wooded. It's a little bit wooded. It's a little bit. Um, it smells like a forest, if that makes sense. Well, not just smells, but it tastes like a forest. Like you know how when you're in a forest and you smell the fresh air and it's slightly, it's like the air is slightly moist. Um, and the like the whole environment is cool and soothing, and you get that kind of a distinctive scent to it, and that's what I'm getting from the flavor. Like it tastes like the wood of the forest. It's very moist. It's very soft and earthy, and um what is it that I'm missing? It's not. It's slightly vegetal, but uh not too. not too leafy, if that makes sense. Um, it tastes kind of like a twig, I want to say, but not in a bad way. I don't like taste like chewing on a twig. It doesn't have the right connotation. But that's just like when I was talking about the puer and it tastes like a whiskey barrel. You have that woody kind of taste to it, um, but in a very good way. Hmm. Oh, that's so good. I want to take another one. I know it's hard for me to take just one sip because the flavor is really, really soft. It's super smooth and it gives you like this kind of how do I put this? It's like a very soft kind of sweet flavor that you don't really get from black teas very often. Oh, got an itch. I'm back. There we go. So I definitely recommend this tea. It's now when I first smelled it, I thought that it was mixed with something. Uh, do you chew on trees? Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you just get hungry and can't help yourself. No, but I had to ask because when I smelled it, I thought it was mixed with something. Like there is something about it that makes it smell like it's got something, like it's been infused or something. But no, this is like a straight up black tea. This is just the leaf, and in the environment that it grows, it shapes. I don't know. Well, shapes isn't the right word. It develops the flavor, I guess. Like it's hard to put it into terms like that because I mean, to me, I see it as a shape. Like when you taste it, sometimes you can close your eyes and kind of feel it forming in your mouth, like the air and the flavor and the sensations. It Some teas just take on a kind of shape. I've described teas before as having waves. A wave is a kind of shape where it does like this. It's like, so you get that kind of a shape. You get the round tastes. Um, it's something that is unique in some ways, uh, and I really can't think of a better way to describe it. But this feels like a shape when you drink it. When you drink it, it kind of like I kind of get the sensation of an arch. The middle of it is rounded, and as I drink and breathe, I can feel like it's a heaviness in the middle of my tongue, and it kind of fans out into the sides and the front. Um, and it's I don't know. I feel like I'm being very abstract, but like this is the kind of thing that you'd have to taste in order to really experience. Now I'm really enjoying this tea, and it's. I mean, you see how I'm fighting the urge to keep grabbing it and drinking more. But that's the sign of a very good tea. You know, some teas are super strong, and like you take a sip and you're good for a few minutes. You're like, because it kind of like hits you in a certain way that's like, all right, I need a minute to gain or to regain my senses. In this case, it's kind of like it's so smooth you can keep on drinking it, and it's like nothing, you know. Mm. Oh, that is really nice. It's got like, I'm getting kind of an autumn sensation. It tastes like it tastes like well, I mean, this is gonna sound kind of strange, but it tastes like brown leaves, you know. And yeah, I get it. It's black tea. It's essentially brown leaves, but um, in this case, it's like the leaves that you find on the floor, and like they've turned color, and it's like autumn leaves. Uh, it's it's really like I'm getting these visualizations of like autumn leaves where it's brown, it's yellow, it's orange, um, very light, very airy sensations over the tongue. Was this earthy positive phraseology? Yes, absolutely. That is on the nose. Basically, it's very earthy. But it's like earthy in a specific season. You know, it's like earthy in the fall, early fall when it's still like jacket weather. Um, I'm not selling this like I'm not a salesman. I'm just like I'm reviewing the flavors, and this is to me the kind of experience that I'm getting. It's super smooth. Um, and it's really distinct from other black teas that I've had. Mm. And it's got kind of like a an aftertaste where some black teas, when you swallow and you get like that kind of bitter that bitter punch at the end. This doesn't have it at all. This is like it's got a nice slow burn. That there's really like the I don't want to say there's an aftertaste, but like it's a lingering taste, and that lingering taste is really pleasant. It's really um like I can still feel it in my mouth, and I still like taste it. Um, and it lingers it lingers quite a bit without the film. So sometimes when you drink a tea, it leaves behind like a little bit of a film, like a graininess. Shadow, you know what I'm talking about for rooibos. Rooibos is infamous for that. You have this kind of you have this kind of just taste without texture, and that's a sign of quality. Because there's nothing that's really left behind from it. It's all pure taste. Mm. And this feels like it could be pretty versatile. Like I would drink this as like an iced tea as well. Tony, welcome. Glad you could make it for once. This is this is really like it's really smooth. It's really how do I put this? It's versatile. It doesn't really need sweetener, but you can sweeten it the way you would normally sweeten any black tea, and um, it really wouldn't ruin it. You know, they describe it on the website. They said, yeah, you can sweeten it. You can put what was it, milk and cream. Um, you don't really need it. Let me see, unsweetened or sweetened with a little bit of. Oh, okay. They recommend unsweetened or sweetened with a little bit of candy sugar, without milk or cream. So that's their recommendation. I do believe I mean, it is to taste. So I do believe that you could put some milk or cream on it, and it wouldn't ruin it. But that's it. Taste is subjective. You don't want to you don't want to rule it out. Basically, I mean, I wouldn't. But it tastes really good. I would not put milk or cream in it just because it doesn't need it for me. Like you guys know, I have a sweet tooth. But I don't sweeten my teas on Friday nights for you guys. This one really doesn't need it. Oh, that is so good. Like, I'm so glad that like it's holding up in the temperature as the temperature drops on the as the temperature drops on the cup. It's really being very um it's still maintaining its strength, you know, and its integrity. That's the word I was looking for, integrity. There's very little change from hot temperature approaching room temperature. It's still pretty warm, not burn your tongue hot. Uh, and I can appreciate the fact that it doesn't change. Some black teas taste awful when it starts to cool down. I mean, you've seen it. Um, this one is holding up pretty well. I think, however, that it might be a little susceptible to oversteeping. If you oversteep it too much, that could ruin it. Um, because the taste itself is really smooth. Um, that usually also indicates that it's very delicate. So when you drink a smooth tea, you want to be mindful of the time and of the temperature that it's steeped in, and you know, I mean, that would always count towards a positive experience. I love this tea so far. Like, it's I steeped at the right temperature and for the right time, and so I'm reaping the rewards of a really good tea. So this is I cannot stop drinking this. Like, you see me reaching for it like over and over again because my hand is just drawn to it. This is a really good blend, and I'm so glad I went back and picked it up because this is I don't want to say hesitant. Um, I was, what's the word I'm looking for? When I first went there, I was intrigued by the scent. But I was like, all right, well, you know, I'll put it off till later. I'll put it off till later. Um, and I've gone back and forth a couple times, but I've never purchased it. So when I went to Teagish Fender was it last Thursday? Yeah, last Thursday. They were having a matcha event, and oh, excuse me, I finally caved in and I picked it up, um, because I knew that this was going to be a really good. Oh, excuse me, that kind of caught me off guard. I knew that it was going to be a very good tea, but I'm finding that hiccups. Oh, I'm going to need a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so yeah, I went to Teagish Fender for the matcha, and I was like, you know what? I think that now's the time. Even before the matcha the matcha event started, I was like, I was talking to one of the workers there, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm finally gonna bite the bullet and get this one because I have been sitting on it for a while, and you know, it smelled unique. It smelled uh very 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 comforting and very welcoming. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna finally bite the bullet and pick it up. You know, not to mention that, yeah, it does help tigers. So, you know, I mean, I'm all about I'm all about helping, you know. So, you know, this was a win-win situation, and I told the worker there, I was like, I'm gonna stream this because I mean, it smelled that intriguing that I knew right away this is gonna go on the list. I didn't think I was going to stream it so fast, uh, when I bought it, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bite the bullet. I have a bunch of other teas that I had on hold, um, just to do this one, and I think that I made the right decision because this is definitely worth uh, reviewing and telling you guys like this is some good stuff. Mm. I want to see something real. Oh yeah, it's still maintaining the color too. Oh man, this is so good. All right, I'm gonna pour some more out. Oh, I'm so stuffed right now. I always do this to myself. Oh, am I? Yeah, there we go. I was hoping that I wasn't going to that I wasn't going to overflow. But yeah, I didn't even come close to overflowing, so I'm good. Now there's also um, something that I'm noticing. I'll show you guys real quick. You check it out. There's a lot of bubbles. You know, you don't really see that in a lot of tea either. Like you guys have seen my streams, and you're able to see like whenever there's a yellow halo, there's very few bubbles. You know, but there's so many bubbles here. And I learned that from the matcha actually, from the demonstration, going from low grade to high grade. The higher the grade, the faster it fizzes. You know, you want to get a nice froth at the top. This one is maintaining a froth from pouring it. So that shows the quality of the tea itself. And you know, I never thought to measure that as a sign of quality, but as it froths, it's airy. So you get that. That's where that smooth texture comes from. You get a nice full flavor. You get the froth. You get the rounded flavor, and it works wonders. Like I am seriously loving this. Oh my god. Like I am so stuffed right now, but it's feeling good. Now I don't know if you guys are talking. I haven't seen any signs of life. So go ahead, say hello. I just want to make sure that this thing is on and that I'm getting you guys. Because you're awfully quiet. And Nick, welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. I see you pop up. You haven't. Oh, there you go. You haven't. All right, sign of life. Yay! this is this is great. I was just saying I needed somebody. Thank you, thank you. I needed somebody to say something so that I know that you guys are still here and I'm not like I'm not crapping out on your end. I've been having some issues with live streaming a couple times, and it's like I don't want to go through that. Hi. Okay, so Nick, since you're just joining us, I'll let you know I'm drinking the Black Oothu from Tigerschwender, and as mentioned before, some of the proceeds uh, goes to saving the tigers. And Shanna, you're being stalked by the ASPCA. That's perfect because you can tell them right now you're watching a stream, or at least listening to a stream that is helping the tigers. So you could let them know that, and they can stop stalking you. Mm. Oh, that was really nice. Whew. Ah, all right. I'm in the zone right now where nothing wrong can happen to me. Like a meteor could come flying through the window right now, and I'll be like, this is the way to go. You know, because right now this tea is making me feel good. It's got a really nice, comforting sensation. Um, And I mean, it is, while it is caffeinated, it's not um it's not a jittery kind of caffeine. Let me. I wonder if they have nothing there. Yeah, I don't see anything about the caffeine content. But because it is a black tea, it is going to be caffeinated. I'm assuming it's going to be just about as caffeinated as a regular black cup of tea, which can contain a good amount. Um, and in cases like this, I mean, I can feel that I'm more energized while I'm relaxed, while I'm just more alert. Um, and I'm feeling good. It's it's giving me like a nice sense of relaxing. Like I can enjoy my environment. I can enjoy being awake and alert, and this is going to be a great cup of tea to wake up to. I'm loving this. It's got so many great qualities to it. I'm thinking about, like this is gonna definitely come with me to work. Um, I'll be happy to share bags with anybody who happens to come across. But this is definitely something that is worth sharing, and it's still frothy. Like I've taken a couple sips, and a lot of these bubbles are just remaining unpopped. So that's why I'm getting like this nice full flavor, good quality tea. This is top notch. Uh I'm feeling I'm feeling really good, and I highly recommend it to you guys, cuz like there's no I have yet to see any downside. Yes, I'm going to bring you some, don't worry. This is definitely like some really good stuff. The tea is still like it's cooler now than it was before, and um it's like it's maintaining the flavor. It's not becoming bitter. It's not degrading in any way. Um it's excellent. Like I am super duper loving this tea. Mm. I want to keep it I want to keep it in my mouth a little bit, and like I swish it around, because sometimes when you swish it around you get different sensations. um I'm actually looking for bitterness in this. Whenever I drink a black tea, it's sometimes obvious that it can get bitter, or as the temperature cools you'll get more of the earth, and it starts to taste kind of like dirt. I'm not getting this. I'm not getting it with the tea, even when I swish it around. Because when you swish it around, you're exposing your taste buds to different parts of the tea, if that makes sense. Um, but I'm not getting any bitterness at all. I'm not getting, like, when I swallow, there's nothing in the throat that's making me go ah. Um, this is a very well made tea. It's high quality. It's high flavor. It's not too strong. It's really smooth. Um, I'm really enjoying it. And I like certain black teas. Other black teas are just very, like, I won't bother with. Um, this is one that I can go to on a regular basis. It's Darjeeling's, some Assams. Oh, excuse me. As long as it's not too strong. The Assams are great. Sylvia, welcome. The How do I put this? Earl Grey. Earl Grey. No, I will not do Earl Greys unless I have to. Although as I mentioned last week, it's when you mix Earl Grey with lapsang, you get a very interesting flavor, and that's what I like. That's the only way that I'll drink Earl Grey willingly and voluntarily. Um, but that's a super strong flavor in itself. Then like some English breakfasts, some Ceylons, I go to a little bit with a little bit of caution, just because I know that they don't hold up well. So that's the kind of drink that I'll drink fast and not really try to savor it. Um, because if I waste too much time savoring it, the end of the cup is just going to be nasty. But this one is really, really good. Like I can sit there, um, and just let it cool off. And in fact, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm talking to you guys, and I'm purposefully keeping away from it. Like, look at that; it's all the way over there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's out of reach. I can't get it. I'm waiting just a little while longer to see if it will maintain at a cooler temperature. But so far, like I have no complaints whatsoever. All right, now I need one. Hmm. Yeah, like I keep it in my mouth a couple seconds just to let it cool and adjust to the temperature of my mouth. And it's like there's no bitterness at all. This is the way that all tea needs to be. It maintains that natural flavor and um that natural full body throughout all the temperature stages. I have full confidence that this would taste amazing iced, as long as it's brewed right. As long as it's steeped for the correct time and the correct um, temperature and stuff like that. Um, I don't know how difficult it would be to oversteep it. I mean, I was very careful in the steeping. I was toying around with the idea of understeeping it a little bit by about 2 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that. But I was like, no, I'm gonna really test this tea, and it passed. I mean, I really can't say anything bad about it, and I really can't say anything normal. I mean, not normal. What's the word I'm looking for? Like neutral about it, because it's a very positive flavor. It's a very positive experience, and I love it. But enough about that. Well, I can't say enough about that because that's why we're here. But I want to open up the floor. Any questions, comments, anything that you want to bring up? Now's the time. I'm going to open up the floor. Uh, this is a very positive experience for me. I'm loving it. I know, Teresa, you had that same old question. I'm going to take a sip and then I'll answer it for you. Okay, so Teresa's question, as always, what would I pair this with? Um, I would definitely like. This is definitely a breakfast tea. Uh, Something I would go with, bacon and eggs. Um, Maybe a little bit of pancakes and waffles. It's not a very strong. Uh, it's not a very strong flavor that will slap you in the face, but it's a wholesome, well-rounded flavor. Um, so I would put strawberries in, like I would pair this with strawberries. I mean, it's not too overpowering. It's not too how do I put this? It's not very Teresa, welcome back. I just answered your question. Um, it's very what's the word I'm looking for? It's very It complements it well. Uh, what are you talking about? You train her well. About being stalked by the ASPCA? I don't know. That's between you two. But yeah, I think that because of the vegetal nature of it, the earthiness, it would go well with strawberries, raspberries. Um, I don't know what else. If I were to pair it with like an entree or a dinner or something, I would probably do something like a pasta. I think I would actually try to infuse a pasta with this, or maybe some rice, because that flavor is like uh, really earthy. I would, I think that this would go great with a rice dish. Um, Maybe rice and chicken. Like that would be a really good combination. So I'm going with that. Oh, okay. There we go. Oof. All right. So, announcements. Okay. We have. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'll go. I'll make the announcements. We've come to a close on Charity Month. We've raised $25 for the I forgot the name of the. It was the Autism Research Foundation or Organization for Autism Research. That's what it was. Sorry about that. We raised $25. So yay for us. Um, Hopefully we'll be able to do this again. Maybe another later on down the year. I don't know. This was not unfortunately enough to raise enough money to do any of the challenges. But we'll give it another shot sometime later on in the year. Um, in the meantime, I'll still be pressing you guys to do good in the world, because that's what we're here for. Making a positive impact. Um, Also, I want you guys to know I'm trying to plan a tea crawl. It's been very difficult. I know we're all adults, and it's hard to schedule. But now that the weather is getting nice, we're going to go ahead and step up the efforts. Um, Unfortunately, it's looking like I'm not going to be able to schedule it until after I get back from vacation. I will be back on the 8th, I believe, of May. I'm leaving in 3 weeks. Um, but yeah, all three this Saturday up until the 20th, I will be busy doing different things. So unfortunately, guys, I'm not gonna be able to have the tea crawl until at least the 11th of May. That's the first weekend I'll be home. But yeah, we'll keep that in mind, and we'll schedule that at a later date. It may very well be the 11th. I'm gonna keep on pushing and be like, okay, well, you guys coming, you guys mark your calendars because I'm gonna come to you. Uh, and I'll be like, hey, what's up? You want to go? Because I am itching for a tea crawl. Like you guys just don't understand. It's a lot of fun. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna be pushing that tea crawl soon. Just keep an eye out for it. What else? Oh, my stuffy nose. I don't know. It happens all the time. It's weird. I'm gonna start having to pop a clarinet or two right before my stream. And I really don't believe it, but it's still frothy. Like it's, I've been talking and like I've been moving this thing, and it's still pretty frothy. Like I look, take a look at this, guys. Look at that. You saw when I poured it out, it's still super red. It's still pretty frothy. Um, like I'm totally amazed by this. You know, the froth is lasting throughout the full stream, and I am seriously impressed. Whew. Like, I don't think I've ever had, or at least this is the first one that I'm really aware of, that has remained frothy throughout. Now, that's not to say that other teas that aren't frothy are low quality. I'm just saying that this one is a distinct quality. Um, it is high quality. It's that's not just in the taste, not just in the flavor, but it's in the leaf. Like, you can smell the quality, you can smell the freshness, you can smell the it is organic. If that's important to you, some people don't care. But it is organic. It is delicious. Like, I am highly recommending this to anybody who wants to give it a try. If you're a fan of black teas, this is a very good black tea, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And even now that it's almost, it's getting more on the cool to cold side, and it still remains delicious. Like there's no bitterness, there's no aftertaste. It's super smooth. It's still holding up really well. So I have no doubt that this is gonna be the kind of tea that I buy a lot because, like, it's really, really high quality. Oh, oof, man, that is delicious. Ah, okay, I'm back. I kind of had a slight out of body experience, like, ooh, that was so good, ooh. But I'm back with you guys now, and I'm feeling really good. Oh man. So, questions, comments, anything you want to bring up, now's the time. Um this one I want to say that it does specify that this goes to the Oathu and Manjali Gardens, and it says that it's a home and refuge to a few Royal Bengal tigers. So this is who it's benefiting specifically. It's the Royal Bengal tigers. Oh, excuse me. That's kind of like, oh, I have got to figure out what how to stop those mid sentence. So yeah, this is going to a good cause, an excellent cause, you know, and this is like, I would love to get more information about them. Maybe we can do like a you know how when I design some teas and I have it hooked into one of the charities, nonprofit organizations, where if you buy some, it goes to that. Like, some of the proceeds will go to that. I would love to set something like that for this particular uh, organization. We'll see. I mean, it's if it's good for them, then, you know, like, I'd say, I'm all for it. Oof. Okay, I'm opening up the floor again. Oh my god, I'm just really stuffed right now. The tea is giving me like a nice calmness. Like, my stomach is satisfied. I'm satiated. I'm feeling very mellow right now. I'm feeling very awake and alert and aware, which is going to be great because, you know, normally after a long day, I'm just kind of dragging. But this is making me feel good, um, and I'm good to go. So, I look drugged a little bit. I mean, I might be slightly tea drunk. I don't know, but this is it's doing good for me, you know? Mm. Oof. Oh my god, I'm so stuck. I'm slightly tea drunk. I'm happy and I'm alert. Once I'm done here, I'll jump in the shower and it's like I'm gonna be refreshed. I'm probably not gonna fall asleep until like 1 or 2 in the morning because I'm just awake. Um, but of course, after the shower, you never know. That'll probably change. But whatever. That's neither here nor there. Um, but this is a good way to end an evening. You know, like you get a nice cup of tea and you relax. You read a book. You watch a movie. You know, like you spend the rest of the night just letting the whole day just wash off your back. You know. Um, and that's I think is a really important aspect to drinking tea. It allows you to unwind and to um, it allows you to release a lot of your stresses and stuff from the day, but in a very positive way. You know, I mean, you don't wind up with a hangover after, hopefully. um, you know, and you get to really enjoy your surroundings as they are. So, you know, like this is definitely a great way to go. I highly recommend this to you guys. If you, I mean, Tigish Vendor, just so you know, is going to be on the tea crawl. So if you join us, we'll be able to get it. Uh, we'll be able to get it in person. If not, I'll be sharing the link on Facebook and the YouTube version after. But yeah, I highly encourage you guys to try this. It's a very, very good tea. It's a very good cause. Um, and I have that's pretty much all there is to it. So I have a couple sips left. If you guys have any questions, when am I planning that again? Um, hopefully. Um, I was trying to get it for the next couple of weekends, but things kept coming up. So most likely I'll be tagging you guys on the 11th of May. I've got my calendar up here. I'm coming back from New Zealand on the 8th. So I took the 9th and the 10th off from work. So by the 11th, I'll be up and raring to go. And I'm like, yeah, let's do this. Um, so by the 11th, I'll be back and we'll be hopefully all planned out. Um, I've already mentally planned out the route. We're gonna be there's gonna be one. It's gonna be mostly on foot, but there's gonna be one short bus ride. That's gonna be maybe about 15-20 minutes. But I'll give you more information once we're ready to go. Um, oh, excuse me. But Tigerschwender is one of the stops. It's probably going to be the second stop, depending on what part we start at. Oh, excuse me. Um, but yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. It's definitely gonna be a great time, and I'm really looking forward to it because it's been a while since I've been on one. Mm. Oh my god, so good. Okay, questions, comments, opening it up again because I have maybe one sip left, and I want to savor this. Oh, so a little bit more about the tea crawl. There's gonna be, I believe, 5 or 6 stops. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 5 stops. Possibly 6, because there was one that was recommended to me, but I don't know where it is. If it's within, if it's within like the Loop area, we can add that to the list. But I have to do a little bit of research. I forgot the name. It was like I believe it's East End or something like that. I have it on my I have it on my chat somewhere, so I'll look it up. It was recommended to me by one of my coworkers, so we'll see. Oh, there we go. So last call. I believe it's last call. It's still frothy, by the way. Uh, last call. Questions, comments, anything you want to talk about? Now's the time. Not now the hatch. Amazing. Like it still maintains that flavor even though it's cool. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, wrap things up for the night. Have a great night. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all next week. Once again, this is Black Oothu, sold at Tigerschwender. And, well, have a great night. Bye.